Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the all-new Ford Raptor R. We have quite a few exciting updates. Before getting into those updates though, I do want to mention if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's just get right into it. So first off, we're going to talk about what the Ford Raptor R is. It is the high-performance version of the Raptor, which is already a high-performance off-road truck. The standard Raptor comes with a twin-turbo 3.5-liter V6. It goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. It's good for 450 horsepower and then 510 pound-feet of torque. You can get 35-inch tires with the Raptor, but you can also option out 37-inch tires as optional equipment. With the 37s, it has about 13 inches of travel on the front and then about 14 inches of travel in the rear, and then it has over 13 inches of ground clearance, so it's extremely capable off-road. Now, that's a cool truck, but obviously Ram produced the TRX before the Gen 3 Raptor came out, and with the TRX, you've got 35-inch tires, which are a little bit smaller than what you can get on the Raptor, but it comes with a supercharged 6.2-liter V8 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. It's good for 702 horsepower and then 650 pound-feet of torque. And so Ford obviously needs to step up their game to now compete with the TRX, and that's where this Ford Raptor R comes in. The Ford Raptor R, we kind of have this confirmed at this point based on VIN to window sticker work that several people have done, that it'll come with a supercharged 5.2-liter V8 straight out of the Shelby GT 500. Now, we don't have power outputs yet, but in the GT 500, it produces 760 horsepower and then 625 pound-feet of torque. Now, we can make some guesses on the power figures based on the struggles that Ram dealt with the TRX. With the TRX, Ram just kept snapping axles with the truck, and so they actually had to put a heavy-duty axle so that the truck could handle the power off-road. And that's what kind of confuses a lot of people, is because, you know, obviously Ford has some aftermarket companies that'll supercharge their F-150s with over 700 horsepower, and they don't have any issues with the axles. But there's a big difference on pressure on an axle when someone's just driving in a straight line on road versus taking turns and you're having big up and down movement with suspension off road, right? And just all that kind of stuff. And again, over 700 horsepower. So the axle is going to take a much higher beating, or a harder beating, I guess I should say, off road. And so Ford will probably have to do a similar thing with the Ford Raptor R, or they're going to have to detune the truck, and that's the two things we've been hearing on the Ford Raptor R. We've been hearing that, oh, they just have put a Super Duty axle with the truck and now can handle the 760 horsepower. But we've also heard rumors that, hey, they just detuned the engine and it still uses the regular Raptor axle, the regular F-150 axle, and they just have kept it at that. But it's lighter than the TRX, and so the power to weight is slightly better than the TRX. That's kind of the other thing that's been going around. But the one thing that we can say is that there is most likely not going to be a hybrid option with the Ford Raptor R. That was something that I made as an April Fool's joke on this channel with a video talking about how it's going to be a hybrid. It doesn't look like that is in the books for the Ford Raptor R. So those of you that don't want the complexity can cheer, and those of you that were hoping for really good fuel economy can be a little bit sad, I suppose. Now, aside from that, we still don't have pricing yet. The people that have done this VIN to window sticker thing have basically only been able to see the options on the truck, and the options just basically state 5.2-liter V8. Doesn't say Ford Raptor on the window sticker, just a 5.2-liter V8 Raptor, and then black interior with the Recaro seats. So basically the seats that I have in my truck, but instead of being blue, they are black. And then 37-inch tires. It looks like those are standard with the Ford Raptor R, which makes sense because 37s are standard with the Bronco Raptor, which is like the, you know, special edition version of the Bronco. And so the special edition version of the Raptor is going to come standard with the larger tires. But we can guess on terms of the pricing based on where the TRX sits at from a price point perspective and where the current Raptor sits at from a price point perspective. So if you look at the current Raptor fully loaded with 37s, you're about $86,000, $87,000 MSRP now, because Ford just bumped up the MSRP by quite a bit over the last little while. And so if you look at that, and then you look at the TRX MSRP, which fully loaded is about $105,000 to $107,000, then it's pretty safe to assume that the Ford Raptor R is probably going to be at least as expensive as the TRX, considering the price of the Raptor and the TRX, or even more expensive than the TRX. Maybe it's going to be in that $115,000 to $120,000 range, which is what I originally guessed when I first talked about the Ford Raptor R. Now you guys are probably also wondering about release date on the Ford Raptor R. This is still kind of a bit of a mystery. The window stickers said 2023 model year, and so that gives Ford quite a bit of time. If you looked at the release of the original Ford the Gen 3 Ford Raptor, it was slated as the 2021, and customer deliveries didn't really start happening until like the end of 2021 year, not 2021 model year, but 2021 year. And so Ford might not have this truck out until like the end of the 2023 year, whereas we'll probably have 2023 F-150s out before the end of this year, 2022. So we still don't know, but I think it's pretty safe to assume that it could be debuted sometime this year or potentially not until next year. And so that gives them quite a bit of time to work things up. Now, aside from that, there's some other things that I want to kind of touch on that aren't as important in my opinion, but there's still things that we should go over. First off is exterior styling with the Ford Raptor R. There have been quite a few test mules out there that people have seen that don't have the crazy camo on them. And basically, it just looks like a regular Raptor, except it has this little area that's kind of like covered that we assume is going to have a slight R logo. And so it doesn't look like Ford is going to change the styling at all with the Ford Raptor R from an exterior aesthetics perspective. It's basically just going to look like every other Raptor, except it'll have an R logo. And I assume they'll probably do like a custom decal on the bed as like a package, like what you can get in the regular Raptor with the 37 package, where it says like, 37 and has like the trails and everything. It'll probably be something similar on the bedside that you can get, where it'll have trails and stuff like that, and then it'll say R, something to basically show people that it is the V8 version of the Raptor. And so what this really looks like is that, Ford is finally going to be releasing the high-performance version of their truck, but it's not going to be that much different compared to the regular Raptor, except with the powertrain. Obviously, there's going to be some other changes, probably to the suspension, to the shocks, to the axles, all that kind of stuff, to make it so they can handle the extra power. But if you're thinking that you're going to get like a special-looking truck, it doesn't look like that is the case at this point. It looks like it's just going to look like every other Raptor, and only people that know what it is will know what it is. And one thing I almost forgot, transmissions. We got to talk about that too. So some places have been saying that there's probably going to be a dual clutch automatic in the Ford Raptor R, because the videos of it have had like really quick shift times. I don't think that's going to be the case, because dual clutches are horrible for off-roading. They overheat at such a rapid pace. It just doesn't make any sense. And if you actually listen to my videos of my Raptor off-road, you can hear that the transmission is super quick to shift. It's not dual clutch quick, but it's very, very quick to shift. And so I think that these people are kind of just mixing up the regular 10-speed in terms of the shift times that it has with the Raptor with a dual clutch. And a lot of these sources were, basically guessing that it was going to be the 7-speed Tremec dual clutch, which again, it would be a cool transmission to have in a truck, but at the same time, it would I could just imagine it would overheat a massive amount. We've seen that with certain outlets when they've taken Kias or Hyundais with the dual clutches off-road, and they just completely roast through the transmissions. So yeah, super exciting that we finally have some more updates on the Ford Raptor R. If I get any more info, then I'll definitely let you guys know. But at this point, it's going to look like a regular Raptor with the new Gen 3 body style. It's basically going to have the Recaro package, but black interior. It doesn't look like they're going to dress up the interior any more than a regular Raptor, so the T-Rex will still have the nicer, more premium luxury interior. It's going to have 37-inch tires as standard. It looks like you'll still be able to add options like sunroof, all that kind of stuff if you want. 5.2-liter V8. We still don't know on the transmission, but most likely going to use the 10-speed automatic is what seems like the safest bet, right? That transmission just makes the most sense for the truck. And that transmission, frankly, can handle the power, no problem. And so, yeah, pretty excited. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you.